Hey YouTube, what's happening? Chris here. I want to bring you guys something that I was reading, researching, looking at stuff, and what I wanted to bring to you guys here was we're going to go back to 1929 and we're going to look at that chart in terms of the Great Depression and how people could have avoided many different things. And guys, very similar to Bitcoin, what you're seeing here in this chart that I wanted to really point out for you, what I've been reading is basically, especially when you're in a bull trend and you're moving up. So, guys, right here, we're moving up. We're moving up slowly. In a bull market, for about the first 80 to 90%, you're going to move like this, guys, where you're going to make those higher highs and higher lows, and you're going to be moving up a little bit. But it's that last 10 to 15% that goes parabolic, where we start to roll up just like this. And guys, anytime you see this on a chart, always know that you're going to be going back down. And this is what happened in the Great Depression. And this really looks a lot like the Bitcoin chart in a way, because we had that parabolic. You got to think about it. The price was around $5,000 or so until the last 2 months or whatever it was, when Bitcoin went from $5,000 all the way up to $20,000. And guys, that's something that should be a telltale sign now that I've read this stuff that I didn't know before. And think how many people could have avoided even this here, guys, if they would have been able to look at these charts and different things and see that they're going straight up. They're on a parabolic run. They're on stilts. And anytime you're on stilts and you build no support, you're going to be coming back down, and you're going to be coming back down hard and quickly. Guys, and this would have been a really steep one here, but you could almost draw that trend line, and then when that trend line broke, you would have known to get out as well. But just alone, guys, how this market was moving like this for years, and then all of a sudden you had that parabolic run in a few years, that was a huge telltale sign. And guys, one of the saddest things about this depression is, yeah, it did take several years. This market was nowhere near as fast as what cryptocurrency is. But think of all those people who killed themselves and hurt themselves and their families and all that over this one, guys. Really, it was a really fast, obviously it took, I think, a year or two, something like that, but a really fast drop. And then you regained more than at least a third of it, almost a half of it, in just that reaction alone. And then if you go to look at this move, actually, guys, it continues to move back up, and it actually took close to 25 years to get back above the all-time highs. So that's why I've talked about with Bitcoin how we could potentially, guys, be in this bear market or accumulation phase for, we've been in it for about 13 months. It could go on for another year or two before we make another bull run. And that's what I do like about cryptocurrency, is 24 hours a day, and it's much faster than the traditional market, and how fast the traditional market moves. So that these cycles, all these are cyclical, guys. It starts with the grand, or basically you have the grand super cycles, which can span hundreds of years in terms of these stock market cycles, all the way down to the minute, the minute, and all that, in terms of these cycles taking place and playing out in those waves, guys. And that's what I've read about in my Elliott Wave book explained. You're going to have, like in the grand super cycle, your one wave may take you almost 100 years. And then for your two pullback could be 50 years. And then your three leg could be up for, 120 years. And this is basically how this happens on a large scale. And in terms of Bitcoin, guys, if you really look at the chart, there's so much more room to have these higher highs in time. And you can see that each market cycle, these cyclical cycles, are getting bigger and bigger, and that's why people have targets of around, $50,000 to $100,000 for the next peak of Bitcoin. We may not see the next peak of the bull run for another 4 years, guys, because the bull run itself could last a year and a half or 2 years. So we have to be prepared for these things, and we have to study for these things, and we have to learn from the past. That's the most important. If you don't learn from the past, you're going to make the same mistakes in the future. So that's what I wanted to bring to you guys. If you could like, subscribe, and I also want you guys to tell me if you've studied about the Great Depression and if you see the same things. Do you see this parabolic kick right here? It's just like the Bitcoin chart, guys. Just like the Bitcoin chart, that final push for the last month or two. And now that we see this, we will be able to get out of these things and take profits. So guys, really like, subscribe, and I do want your comments down there. I just want to see if you guys understand, or if you've studied about how, these uptrends can really happen for years, and then you have that blow off top, and that's a telltale sign. I mean, guys, look, all the way up, all the way down. And then you had that reaction where you bounced up right there. And guys, it almost kind of looks like 5 waves here. We bounced down here. We had 1, we had 2, we had 3, we had 4, and we had 5. And that would qualify because the third wave is not the shortest. And remember that, guys. As long as the third wave is not the shortest, it's typically the longest, but it can never be the shortest. And that's kind of what this looks like here. And even on this 4 wave, we didn't come down past the top of the 1, and then we had that really nice 5th wave that came up right there. So, guys, tell me what you think. Leave it down low, and I thank you for all that you guys have done for this channel and have been here with me. It's just a pleasure to be here, and I want to continue to learn this stuff and share it with you. So I hope you like it. God bless.